Hi folks, long time no speak. I've been on a bit of a hiatus for a while, which is going to continue by the way, but I've still got tons and tons of stuff going on. I'm still working just as hard as ever on various things which are going to be blooming into 2024. But first of all, I want to talk about YouTube itself because I've been having some difficulties lately. I've tried to upload some videos from my backlog, the videos that are normally sale items on my website. I've tried to upload them to YouTube, and my last 3 uploads have all been blocked on the basis of so-called copyright infringement. Now that would never stand in a court of law because the videos are clearly educational. I've only ever had one company that even threatened to take me to court for copyright infringement. And when I supplied my legal arguments to them in a letter, they backed right the hell off because they knew they wouldn't stand a chance. And there's this thing called fair use, which means that I or anybody else is allowed to use copyrighted material if we are providing a review or critique or some sort of educational commentary. That is legally allowed. There are some grey areas to it, but on the whole, the stuff that I do, virtually every single clip that I take from a movie product that's out there and I include it in one of my videos, it's virtually always to illustrate an educational narrative point that I'm making as part of my review or critique or analysis or whatever you want to call it. So that's called fair use, and when I put the film analysis videos up, they virtually always, I would say at least 40% of the time, maybe 60%, when I first upload them, they tend to get auto-blocked. Now, this is nothing sinister. This is nothing bad on YouTube's part as far as I can tell. Because there are so many idiots out there who would just take all of the most popular movies and go, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to upload these for free on YouTube for everybody to watch. And screw the profits of the people who made the movies. Even though it cost millions of dollars to make and took a lot of time and effort. So I'm just going to put it out there for free. There's a lot of idiots who try to do that with popular movies on YouTube. And they ruin it for the rest of us because YouTube, in turn, has had to put in place this auto-blocking system, this detection software that detects the popular movies and identifies them and auto-blocks them, right? Now, typically, and it's pretty good the way YouTube does this, sort of. It's not been working so well lately. Typically when that happens, I fill in a form on YouTube, which is like a dispute against the auto block. And I explain in very polite terms to the copyright holder, because my message gets sent on to them apparently. And I explain to them that, you know, this is an educational video. It's a film review critique. I quote the fair use laws that allow me to do this. I also explain to them my channel isn't monetized. Not that that really matters, because you are allowed to make money from reviews and critique of other people's products, and you don't have to give them the money that you make from the reviews. So, for example, you get film review magazines. They get sold, they make a profit from it, and they will use pictures and stuff from popular movies. And you'll get TV shows, there'll be documentaries on TV which use copyrighted footage, but because it's educational, they're allowed to do it. And the fact that they're charging people a monthly subscription fee to their broadcasted channel doesn't make a difference. So there's going to be people who watch who go, oh, you know what, this sounds really interesting. I'm going to go and buy a Blu-ray copy of that movie, or I'm going to go and pay for a streamed rental version of it. So I'm actually providing free advertising for the copyright holders of these movies. Now, unfortunately, what sometimes happens, and this seems to be about the individuals working in the copyright offices of those companies, some of those people just don't seem to understand their own job. They think that their job is to just block things. Oh, it uses a clip from our movie, let's block it. And they've got no concept of fair use. And even if I explain to them in my dispute letter, sometimes they just maintain the block and they send a message back to YouTube saying that we still stake a claim against this video and it should still be blocked. There's no legal basis for them doing that at all. I am allowed to produce film analysis videos that use the copyrighted content. But YouTube allows the copyright holders to block the videos and to then block them again in response to the dispute that I send. And they don't have to provide any explanation. Now, I can escalate my dispute further, but what that then allows to happen is that if the copyright holder maintains, without explanation of why, that they have a copyright claim against the video and it should continue to be blocked, if that happens again, then I automatically would get a strike against my YouTube account. If I start getting strikes against my account, then that means my videos will not be recommended to new users. They won't show up in people's feeds and so on. So that's a no-no. And that would happen even if the company was completely wrong in its objection to my video. A good half of my videos that get uploaded get auto-blocked. And then I would say out of those, maybe 60 or 70% of them get unblocked by the copyright holders because they read my message explaining that it's a film review and so on, and they just unblock it. But unfortunately, you get these, I'm going to use the word arseholes, who work for these copyright officers for these companies, who don't know their job, who don't know the copyright law, or they're not interested in it, and they cause these videos to be blocked. I did have an issue with this around about 12 years ago, where an individual in a certain copyright office took personal exception to a film study that I'd done on the movie Starship Troopers. And he personally kept blocking the video, and he caused a series of strikes against my channel, which caused my channel to be taken down for about 2 weeks. That's why I then set up extra YouTube channels in case it ever happened again. So I had to personally contact that company and complain to them about it. And after a long series of back and forth emails, I was able to speak to somebody who had a priority over that individual who had personally taken exception to my video and was blocking it for their own ideological reasons. And the superior above them apologized to me because the initial person wouldn't respond. They didn't even want to discuss, and they got overridden, and the blocks got removed, the strikes against my channel got removed, and my channel got restored. Okay. So I know that this does happen sometimes, where you get people in copyright officers who've got their own agendas about what they will and won't block. Now, my last 3 videos that I've tried to upload were all blocked, and I don't see any ideological reason for it. There's no really controversial political content or anything like that. One of the videos was on Eyes Wide Shut. It's called The Masks of Eyes Wide Shut. It's a 1-hour video. Now, I know a lot of people get wound up about the movie Eyes Wide Shut because it has got a lot of political things, but this video isn't really about the politics. It's about the mask designs and the psychology of mask wearing generally and so on. That got blocked, which is unusual because Warner Brothers usually release the rights when I upload a Kubrick analysis video. This is a rare occasion where Warners have blocked it again. The next one was a study on the Terminator. It's a shame that one got blocked because I think it's a very good one. And then the third one was on Revenge of the Nerds. That's an analysis I made quite a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago. So yeah, all 3 of those completely blocked. So that's one reason why I've had no new film analysis uploads for a while. Now, there's a number of other problems that I've got with YouTube at the moment, and my list of gripes about YouTube has been growing and growing steadily over the years. So I've wrote down some of my thoughts on that over lunch today, and I think I'll just list some of them off. This is not a complete list, but these are some of the issues that I've got with YouTube at the moment. First of all, it's too corporate. There's too much corporate advertising on YouTube. YouTube became as popular as it is because individual creators like myself and many others, we got on there and we provided content that was missing from the mainstream news media, from mainstream TV entertainment and so on. We were providing a type of video content that was missing, and we were willing to talk about all kinds of unusual subjects. And also, people like to hear the voice of the average everyday person. They don't want to just switch on the TV and just hear stuff that's stage managed all the time. So we, the independent creators, we made YouTube what it is. Without us, it would never have took off. And over the years, we have been getting slowly pushed aside in favour of this non-stop corporate advertising revenue stuff that's going on with YouTube. A lot of independent creators have gone along with that, and they sign up to all these ad revenue schemes. I've been offered many of them myself. I've had so many of these ad revenue companies and corporate partnership, sponsorship companies have contacted me over the years many times. Would you be willing to sign up and advertise this? And or will you please do a short video talking about this game, and we will actually write the script and you will speak the dialogue that we want you to do. Basically, they want to provide me with a review of their game, and for me to speak that review as if it's an actual independent review, when it's not. It's actually an advertisement disguised as a review. This should not be allowed on YouTube at all. There's also way too much mainstream corporate news stuff on YouTube. If I want mainstream news, I can go on TV, I can watch TV and get it there. You know, that's available to us all. If I come on YouTube and I want to search for a particular subject and get some unusual opinions on it, some outsider opinions, some opinions that are not part of the mainstream news, I would like to go on YouTube and be able to easily find that stuff. But there's so many subjects where I do a YouTube search trying to find information, and all I get is the prioritized corporate content at the top of the search results, and anything else is either excluded from my search results, or it's shoved so far down that I have to skip through page after page of corporate content to have a remote chance of finding it. That's not the YouTube that I signed up to back in 2006 when I first started using it. Now, something that I think that could resolve that is you don't necessarily have to kick off all the corporations from YouTube. I realise YouTube's a big operation. It needs money. So, you know, ad revenue stuff is a way of generating that money. There's lots of ways of generating the money. There could be a sign-up fee for people to watch it generally, but maybe that would massively reduce the audience because a lot of people don't want to pay for anything these days. That's one way of doing it. But one way that this was really effectively monitored in the early stages of YouTube is that instead of having a thumbs up, thumbs down system, which doesn't even work at the moment because YouTube blocks our ability to see thumbs down, which is stupid because I can click thumbs down on a video but nobody can see it anyway. So you've only got thumbs up. That's a massive problem. It's stupid. But even before that, the thumbs up, thumbs down issue was bad. In the early stages of YouTube, there used to be a star rating system. If I thought a video was just okay, but not terrible, I could give it a 2 or 3 star rating. If I thought a video was outstanding, I could give it a 5-star rating. And then it would all get averaged out. And the beautiful thing about that in the early stages, and this filtered out a lot of garbage content, was that when I did a search for a particular subject, let's say I went and did, Exorcist film analysis, blah, 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 blah. Exorcist film analysis videos would come up, and there might be, say, 6 or 7 of them, and I could tell almost right away which of those videos are going to be worth watching and which aren't, because I could see the star rating results on the videos before I even clicked on them. So if I saw a video that had 100,000 views and it had a 5-star rating, then I would know that that video was almost certainly going to be good, or at the very least it was going to be a video that delivered on the title and thumbnail promise that was made when the video was shown to me. Whereas if some other idiot came along and made a video that gave a completely misleading title and a completely misleading thumbnail, or complete garbage in the actual content of the video, their video would get downrated to fuck, and it would show up as a 1-star rating video, and everyone would go, yeah, okay, that's going to be garbage. It's had 20,000 views and hardly anyone seems to like that, so I'm not even going to bother watching it. That was a great system. That system filtered out garbage and allowed me to find good content easily, but that got took away from us. by the way, sorry if I seem a little bit bunged up at the moment. I had COVID last week, and I was out of action for a while, and I'm still getting over it a little bit, so I'm kind of bunged up here. Sorry about that. Okay, so the current system on YouTube, you got this thumbs up, thumbs down fakery system because you can't even see who downvoted the video. Even on my own channel, I would like to enable the ability for users to see both up and down votes. If I get like 30 or 40% of viewers who cast a down vote on one of my videos, I want my audience to know that. I want my audience to see how many people agree and disagree. I don't want this fakey thing where it's like, oh, there's all these people who agree with it and the disagreeing people are hidden. I mean, those people are allowed to comment anyway, so why not show the downvotes as well as the upvotes? But when that change was made, YouTube gave these garbage excuses that, oh, you know, it might offend creators to have their content downvoted. Well, in that case, what about all the comments people leave saying that they hate the video or think it's crap or it's misleading? That's a contradiction. That's stupid. As far as I can tell, the reason this change was made in YouTube was because a lot of content that was corporate driven, ad revenue driven, clickbaity garbage, people would downvote it, and then somebody clicks to watch the video because they can't see the ratings of the video in advance, and as soon as they click to watch it, the ratings show up underneath the embedded video, and people go, oh right, okay, this has got way more downvotes than upvotes, it's probably going to be absolute garbage, so I think I'll give this video a miss. But now you can't even do that because you can't see the downvotes. So yeah, that's another terrible change that's been made. Yeah, way too much clickbait stuff on YouTube, too many misleading titles and thumbnails, and the lack of ability to see negative feedback in the ratings prevents that garbage from being filtered out. Another issue is shadow banning. Now, as far as I know, I've only got evidence that this ever happened to me once, and this was when I produced a video on Full Metal Jacket a couple of years ago. I'm not going to quote the title of the video here because that could trigger a block of this video or a shadow ban of it. I know that video got shadow banned. It was doing really well. I think it was first day, it got something like 30,000 views, which is way above what I normally get in the first day. Second day it got just as many, and you know, this video was really kicking ass, and I think it was going to take off and become one of my most popular videos ever. And then suddenly the view counts on it dropped to about 100 views a day. It just went like rapidly. Within like 24 hours it just went right down, and it was stuck on that ever since. In fact, at the beginning it was even worse than that, because for about 2 weeks after the video was uploaded, I mean, it was up for a couple of days, it did really well, incredibly well, and it was going to explode, and it was bringing me a lot of new subscribers. Initially it got actually shadow banned for 2 weeks. Now I know that this happened because if I wasn't signed into YouTube and I did a search for the title of that video, in quotes, quoting the exact name of the video, the search results would be like the video didn't even exist. If I searched for the video by title in Google search engine, didn't exist. But if I went to another search engine like Yahoo or Bing or something like that, and I searched for the video there, it did exist. And the link would be there, and you could click on it and go to it. So for some reason, Google, which owns YouTube, somebody had placed a shadow ban on that Full Metal Jacket video. And by the way, if you want to watch that video, it's I think it's about half an hour long, and it's one of the best videos I ever did. You can go and get it for free on my website, collativelearning.com. But anyway, I did a test at the time to see how far the shadow banning of this particular video had gone. I knew that Google and in turn YouTube had shadow banned it, and I had 2 other videos that were getting around 3,000 views a day at the time. They were both doing really well. One of them was a separate Full Metal Jacket video that I did called Born Again Hard. It was only about a 7 or 8 minute video, but that was a very popular vid, and it was racking up the views fast, 3,000 a day. And the other video I did, which was getting a lot of views, was Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the anti-movie movie, which was an in-depth study of that film, that was getting over 3,000 views a day. So because those two videos were doing so well, I thought, let's see what happens if I place a pinned comment in each of those videos, and in that pinned comment I will provide the link to my Full Metal Jacket video, the one that had been shadow banned. Now, the reason I use the term shadow banning is because if I signed into YouTube and looked at my videos or did a search for them, the Full Metal Jacket video would show up as if it was actually searchable on YouTube. As soon as I signed out of YouTube and searched for it, it didn't exist. Okay. But anybody who had the link to the video could still find it if they had the link. So I placed the pinned comment in my two videos that were getting 3,000 views a day to point people to the shadow banned video. And you know what? Within 48 hours, both of those videos, which had each been getting 3,000 views a day for months, both of those videos suddenly dropped to about 100 views a day, and we're stuck on that ever since. Yeah? So not only was the original video shadow banned, but because I linked it in those other two videos, those two videos got their view counts and their promotion to new viewers capped to limit it to around 100 views a day. This is really sinister, bad practice, and I'm not saying it's YouTube policy to do this, because a lot of the time these issues are basically down to specific moderators and their own personal ideologies, which was what happened with my Starship Troopers video around about 12 years ago. And I'm guessing that some moderator arsehole working for either YouTube or Google, and in turn influencing YouTube, had taken it upon themselves that they didn't like the Full Metal Jacket video and decided to block it. I couldn't see any logical reason for blocking the video. It did not touch upon controversial issues. So that rocked my faith in YouTube. I mean, it's very easy for people to say, whenever they post a video and it doesn't do well, to just say, oh no, that's YouTube blocking my stuff. But I don't really find that that's the case, because sometimes I upload videos that have content that I think, this might annoy someone, this might be a bit controversial, there might be some moderators who dislike this, it might trigger the algorithm, and I think that video is going to get blocked or suppressed or something, and it doesn't, and it does really well. Some of my most popular videos that I've ever done have been fairly controversial, and some of them have even had political content in them. So I don't think it's that. I mean, when I do post videos and it appears like they might be getting suppressed by the algorithm, they're often videos that are completely harmless and non-offensive to anybody. So I really don't see this as being a regular thing, but I was not happy about that Full Metal Jacket shadow ban. Some other issues that have been popping up is sometimes when I leave a pinned comment under a new video, I'll get people posting and there'll be some particular misunderstanding about the video that happens again and again. So I'll get like 20 people commenting, leaving this thing, and they all present the same misunderstanding about the video. So I will answer all of them in a pinned comment, and I will pin it, and I will take any repeating feedback that occurs in the comments, whether I agree with it or not, and I will summarize my response to all those major points in a pinned comment. YouTube keeps unpinning my comments. It seems to automatically do this. I'll pin the comment, and within a couple of hours it's unpinned, and I go back to the video. If I sign in, it appears as pinned. If I sign out and then go and check on the video, the pinned comment is no longer pinned. Don't know why the hell that happens, but it happens a lot. Another major one is that when people start leaving comments and I reply to those comments, often my replies to the comments are being removed. Now, I don't believe that it's YouTube doing this. I think it's certain sinister people in the comments sections who've got their own agendas. They want to leave comments that are either nasty or disagreeing or so on, and they don't like the fact that I'm able to counter their comments effectively. And then I think there's things that people can do to get my comments to their comments removed. And so when I notice that happening, again and again, and it does happen regarding specific people leaving comments. Sometimes I just take it, well, that particular person is somehow finding a way to get my responses to their comments blocked, and then I block that person. But yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how YouTube can deal with that issue, but it is an issue. It's not a major one though. This is a major one. This kind of goes back to what I was already covering, but I would like to have the ability when I do searches on YouTube to be able to filter out certain content. For example, I am sick of getting stupid shallow videos by people like Mr. Beast or Sniper Wolf recommended to me constantly. I don't like the shallowness, Mr. Shallow I'd call him, because from what I've seen, most of his videos are promoting obsession with money, obsession with materialism. I think he's a really shallow content creator, pure clickbait stuff. But I keep getting recommended his crap. And I would like to be able to filter out and say, I do not want to have this channel or this channel or this channel show up in my searches. I would like to be able to block certain channels from my searches. Whether it's really shallow channels, and I would also like to be able to block out corporate content and to block out mainstream media content. If I do a search and I want to know about something about, I don't know, some major issue that's going on today, and I want to hear some opinions that are outside of corporate media, then I want to be able to press something in my YouTube search, some sort of filter that gets rid of all of the BBC and the Guardian and the Daily Mail and all of them. I want to get all of that stuff filtered out so I can get some other opinions that are outside the mainstream media. So it seems to me that over the years, YouTube is very, very slowly but surely turning into a corporate content advertising platform, and it's becoming just like terrestrial TV slowly. We, the independent content creators, are still allowed to exist on here, begrudgingly, because without us, YouTube would just be seen as just being like a TV channel. So we're allowed to operate on here, but within limits, and those limits are becoming more and more strict over the years. It's a shame. There have been some improvements to YouTube's system that have gone on here and there over the years, but mostly it's been going downhill. So that is my rant, my big rant about the direction that YouTube has been going. And for a long time I've been aware that if this continues, then I will have to start branching out and operating outside of YouTube to get my content out there. And so I've been doing that, and that's why I've not been posting anything for quite a while. So what have I got going on? Well, first of all, I'm writing my first film analysis book. This is going to take some of my most popular film studies that I've produced over the years, both on and offline, condense them all into a book format. I was approached by quite a respected, well-known publisher something like maybe 18 months ago, I think it was, and we were putting together some stuff, and it was like, okay, yeah, we'll get a fairly big film analysis book out there, and it'll be a big book full of pictures and everything. And then when I read the contract that was offered to me, I was like, no way. The contractual details, the legal contractual details were just, forget it, no chance. Tried to negotiate a little bit on that, but no, that was a non-starter. And then I thought, well, I don't even need a big publishing house, because you can self-publish quite easily these days. I've already got my audience anyway, so I don't have to worry about advertising and promotion. I can just release the book and then tell you guys about it, or I could invest a little bit myself in some advertising. So I've been working on that book for a while. It's going very, very well. I've got about 80% of the content for the book is already written. There's going to be about another 20% of brand new content that I am yet to write. And a lot of it is stuff that doesn't lend itself to a video format, stuff that I made notes on over the years. So there's going to be a lot of chapters in this book that are new. But I would say around about maybe 40-50% of the book is now polished to the point where I've gone through the process of proofreading it and making sure all the spelling and grammar is correct and all that. Around about 40 to 50% of the book is ready to that point. And the rest of it I'm going through at the moment. I'm hoping to have that book out early next year, hopefully by February. And if it does well, then I'll take lots and lots of my other material and turn those into books as well. I should have done the book thing a long time ago. I've relied too much on YouTube, but I was busy with a lot of other things over the years, particularly being a parent. But now that my daughter's 10 years old and she's getting more and more independent, I'm starting to get more free time. And that brings me to my next subject. I've got this video game I've been producing. I've been programming it myself, and I posted a short video, a comedic little video a couple of days ago, showcasing some of the weapons that I've put into the game, which have got really good physics, mechanics, and some nice particle effects and so on. Now, how this video game project came about is kind of weird and interesting. I did work in video games back in the 1990s, the mid-1990s, just before the first PlayStation came out, and I was doing graphics for video games back then. I worked in the field for about 2 years, and I left because I got bored in the end. I got itchy feet. I wanted to do other things. I didn't want to be sat at a desk all the time. I wanted to be out in the world doing other things, and so I branched out and went out and did other things for a long time. But anyway, I've now come full circle back to video games because my daughter was asking me to make Minecraft mods for her, and so I spent about 9 months working on Minecraft mods. I was spending 50% of my time making film analysis videos, and on the side I was making Minecraft mods, which you're not allowed to make any money out of it, which I think is a stupid decision, because if people were allowed to make some sort of make some money out of Minecraft mods, the company itself could take a chunk of the profits of those mods, but they don't allow that. But I was interested in it. I was enjoying the technical challenge of making Minecraft mods, and I made some pretty good mods. Got about 6 of them out, and there's one of them did something technically which I've hardly seen happen in any other Minecraft mods, which it generates these huge castles, and they always generate in a different layout. It works really well. I'm really pleased with that mod. Well, anyway, if you're interested in the Minecraft mods, follow the link in the video description if you're a Minecraft player, and you can go and check out the mods that are made. Making the Minecraft mods got me into programming, which was something I always assumed that I couldn't do. I'd always wanted to make a video game myself from scratch and design it completely myself. I'd made films before, and there was a number of other things I wanted to do, one of which was to make a video game. But I'd never even pursued it because I just assumed that I cannot do coding, that I cannot program. When I see pages of written typed code, even though I'd learned HTML, I just look at it and I think, oh, this is gobbledygook garbage. It's so annoying. I don't want to be dealing with it. Well, anyway, I got into visual scripting when I made the Minecraft mods. I used it for that. I used a program called MCreator, which allows you to do visual scripting. And just through using the visual scripting of MCreator, I managed to create some really good mods. But I also got myself more familiar with video game logic. And I thought, wouldn't it be good to be able to make a video game of my own from scratch, one that I can actually sell and bring in some funds? Because the film analysis stuff that I do, I've been earning my living for that for quite a long time. And it works great. I'm comfortable. I'm not rich, but I do okay, and I don't have to worry about money. But it would be nice to be able to get some sort of a product out there that has more of a wide appeal, because the film analysis stuff is very limited in the size of audience. It's a bit too conceptually deep. A lot of people are like, oh, this is giving me a headache, don't want to go there. A lot of people really do not want to explore their own unconscious, and that makes my work sort of, they shy away from that. So I thought I want to make some sort of a video game project that will appeal to a much wider audience. So I've been working on this top-down shooter multiplayer, local multiplayer top-down shooter game, and I made a prototype version of it in a Nintendo Switch game engine called Game Builder Garage, which is a really crude game engine, but it's great for just doing some basic stuff. I managed to piece together a prototype version of this game in that, and it was so playable. I was playing it with my daughter and my girlfriend and her son. We were having an absolute blast on it. The kids were laughing their heads off, and we were playing it for hours, and I was like, this is good. I've bought games at full price that are less entertaining than this, that gave less value, and this is just fantastic. So I thought I'm going to recreate the whole game in a separate game engine for release on PC, and if it does well, then I'll port it out to the consoles as well. So I've been working on that for about the last 2.5 months, and the basic game is already up and running and working. I'll leave some footage of combat of it at the end of this video, and yeah, it's playable. The basic game mechanics are there, the movement, the shooting and all that kind of stuff. It's a top-down shooter, but it's a 3D top-down shooter. This is a huge difference to other top-down shooter games. They're usually 2D games. This one gives you the ability to jump up and down on platforms. There are, y-axis combat elements to it, which set it apart from virtually any other top-down shooter out there. So it's local multiplayer split screen. Combining the work that I'm doing on that with the work that I'm doing on the book, I just haven't had time to do any film analysis stuff for YouTube. So I'm sorry about that, but I have been busy, and I'll get the book out early next year and hopefully the game out early next year. And it's possible I might have the game released as an early access item even before Christmas. But the basic gameplay is in place, and I've been playtesting it on the PC, and it's good. It's fast. It doesn't crash. There's lots of variety in the gameplay. I've got 10 weapons working in there, each of which generates different types of gameplay because there's very different mechanics to each weapon. It's going really well. One of the good things about this is if I get this game out and it sells really well and it brings in a lot of funds, then that will in turn fund some new projects. I would like to write and direct again. I haven't done that since at least, I think 2010 was the last time I wrote and directed. I did a feature film, but it was shot on really low-grade cameras because at that time HD cameras weren't really a big thing publicly, and a lot of people were just shooting on DVD quality, 720p footage. It wasn't even widescreen, and I was shooting stuff like that because I didn't have the money, and I didn't want to agree to the conditions that were attached to funding bodies that were giving out money for filmmaking. They had stupid conditions like if you write the film you're not allowed to direct it and crap like that. I'm like, fuck you, I don't work like that. When I make a movie or a game or anything, whatever it is, if I'm the one who conceives it from the beginning, then I make all of the creative decisions on that project the way I want to make them, and that's the only way that I work. That makes it hard to get funding. I've got something good coming up next month. I've been asked to be on the jury panel to vote for the best short films in certain categories at a film festival. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'm going to be sitting through a lot of short films. I'll be casting my vote on those. I've never been asked to do that before, so it's just an interesting little thing to do. I used to make short films myself, and now I'm going to be voting on them as part of a jury panel. That's cool. But I've got something else quite special coming up next month, which is a live event, Q&A, but I don't know if it's going to be filmed or not. I hope it is, because it's going to be something pretty special, which I can't really tell you the details at the moment. But if it is filmed, then it will definitely be something that you, the watchers of my film analysis videos, will want to see. So I'll give you an update on that toward the end of October. Hopefully the event will be filmed. Okay, so I guess that's about it for this update. I know it's quite a long bit of a rant here, but I hope you folks can understand now why I've been taking a little bit of a hiatus from YouTube and will be continuing to do so. So my free content is going to be very limited for the next few months, because the kind of film analysis videos that I do where they're scripted and they use a lot of footage from the movies, those take a lot of time and effort to make. I will probably do occasional presentation videos like this talking about specific subjects mostly unscripted, because those are much easier and quicker to do. So I'll probably do more of that to tide things over until early next year. So I hope you folks don't go running away and unsubscribing. If you do, then that's fair enough. I can take the loss. If you don't, if you're willing to hang in there with me, then I should have some pretty special stuff coming early next year, maybe even before. Okay, folks, you take it easy. Bye-bye. Oh god, that weapon is powerful. You're half dead, Lois.
This is like just mines. It's just mines.
I don't mind.
You don't mind. You don't mind.
We
You're both out of ammunition.
Right.
But you can
Oh no!
you can now blow up the mines as well with other bombs.
Oh yeah.
You're nearly dead. Just you better find some health or something.
I just got.
Lois just got the health.
Oh, now I've got fire.
Yeah, you're nearly dead. You need some
Right.
health.
Get here.
No!
Ha! I won! Oh, that's decent health, which is rare.
Oh.
Can't. Not leaving.
Remember, you can dash if you press that one in.
I can't. I know. I'm trying, but.
Shooting yourself.
Yeah. Where is she? Ow.
Nowhere. Ha!
No.
That was a quick one.
What?
I keep finding fire.
You need to run away rather than getting killed.
I'm out of ammo.
Run away, you nearly did. Ah, you got beat, Lois, that time. Yeah.
No. Let me out.
I love it. Like, bye.
Back. Where are you?
Someone got one.
I got it.
Oh, God,
Oh my God.
death.
Haha.
You can destroy those turrets as well if you throw enough
Yeah,
stuff at
both
them.
they are powerful.
But they are
and you
super
have
powerful.
Didn't try to destroy it. Hey there.
Oh.
We both just ran
No,
into
nobody's
it.
got any weapons though.
I know, so we both just ran into it.
Where
Oh my
are
god.
you?
No.
Don't waste all your ammo until you're in range.
Ah! I hate that weapon.
You're out of ammo.
Too late.
I thought you collected one. Or was it a health?
Health.
You want to get away from that turret, it's going to kill you.
Bye. Bye. the death zone.
And then you,
I've got 2 of them.
and that's the turret has got unlimited ammo actually. Don't shoot yourself with it. It's quite powerful. If you've got grenades, Justina, you can throw them down there and blow up.
No! Don't tell her! Don't tell her!
No! Stop it!
No! You explode. Oh, there. Yeah. Stop it!
You're nearly dead, Lois.
I know. No!
Not the super
How
powerful
dare
weapon.
you?
I got the
Health. He got health when I need it.
Why?
Oh, where is health? I just want the health. I'm surprised I've lived this far. Oh, no. No. Hey, do it.
You just blew yourself up, kid.
Should be the